Happy Wednesday, y'all. We are on episode 6 of Married at First Sight. What is going on? If you are new, my name is Ash, and welcome to Ash's Recaps. But to my oldies but goodies, what is going on, baby? We're back on track. We're getting it back on track, and we are rolling and flowing. But back to my newbies, stick around real quick, check out a couple of videos, see if you like it, girl. Subscribe, get on this good old recap mess, crap, wisdom, love, positive vibes. At least I try to. That I be talking about this show and about these people, getting in just my good old commentary, if all that just makes sense. Because of course, I this little introduction, I don't know. It just be, I don't know what it be doing. I just be literally going for it every time, and it sound different and crazy every time. But y'all, things are like really like heating up. And what I can definitely say about these couples that I feel like is so different from the other couples is I really feel like these couples are very especially as far as like the group, they're very open about, like I don't necessarily the word was open. I think they're an outspoken group. They're a very outspoken group, and they are. I feel like, because I don't feel like nobody's necessarily taking to offense necessarily. Uh, but Miguel definitely was saved by the mariachi band. Like let's not even cap that. But basically, they are all about like holding, not even necessarily holding each other accountable, but calling each other out on each other's shit. Like, and I'm loving that about this group. And it's really just getting like, it's really starting to get like, it was already, but like it's really like starting to get real. Honeymoon's over, and y'all know things like usually can kind of like usually pop off like on the honeymoon. So honeymoon is coming to an end, and they're going to be moving in together soon. So things are really going to be pushing in on fast. But you know how we do: get comfortable, get your blanket, get your cig, get your smoke, get your breezy, get your pillow, get your blankie, get your doggy, whatever it is. Get your wine, of course. Get your beer. Get you a shot. Whatever it is to get you comfortable, to get in this good recap. Y'all, let's jump into it couple by couple. And who we lining up with first? And I didn't forget, y'all. I know some of y'all might, if you were paying attention, I talked about, maybe having some people in for, to get other insights. And that's still coming. Sometimes you just, it's a little complicated, trying to get people, together, and working out scheduling and all that, whatever. But don't worry, you're going to see more than just my face, okay? Seem to be still flowing and going well with Lindy and, Miguel. Like they have, really had started having some deep conversations, really getting in deep or whatever, whatnot. Though they have had like some, differences that they were trying to, get over or whatever, whatnot. And I definitely see Lindy's overthinking side, definitely like coming in, and her coming up with just what's the word that I'm looking for? Just what ifs, like basically, or whatever. And just stuff like that. And I think, reading into, with him being so analytical, that he wants somebody like this, he wants somebody like that, and boom, boom, boom. And she's trying to thinking of every move that she's making. Is she doing this? Is she doing that? Like, you're going to mess up. You're odd. Yeah. Don't, she gotta chill. Like, don't worry about whether you're checking off those boxes and meeting him halfway. I think that she needs to continue to be herself and, do what Lindy knows how to do. Though I definitely feel like at the same time, because things were adding up for a second, y'all. So, boom, they consummated the marriage, right? Now, mind you, just last episode, which these episodes are days apart, mind you. So it's not like we know that days went by. So, or at least for so many days. Like if the beginning of the episode was like day 5, so like for majority of them, except for like what? Except for Ben and Morgan. So this literally was like what, day 3, day 4 that y'all were talking about this whole sex thing. And so they consummated the marriage, whatever, whatever, whatever. I was a bit confused at the beginning, but me and how I do, I let it ride and I move on from it. And it was Stasha that ended up bringing it up again and just, asking her, and this is what I mean about like calling each other out. Like, you wanted to wait. You were talking about how the importance of it, whatever, whatever. And so I was like, good point. Way to go ahead and clear it up and figure out like what is going on. And all of a sudden, now y'all consummating your marriage. So Lindy was just basically like, they've talked, they've had conversations, and Stasha immediately went into the fact of, I don't want you to feel forced or that you're doing something to make him feel comfortable. You're worried about his feelings, that your feelings, matter too. And being in that kind of situation before, and her admitting that, I was just like, yeah, boo, like you're triggered, like that's not what it is. And her backing it up, and Lindy even saying like, no, it's not that. We were happy. I'm glad that it happened. Like whatever. At the same time, I'm like, yes, but I'm looking at her and I'm like, is that how you really feel? But at the same time, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was going with it. I was like rolling with it. I was like, hey, okay, like maybe just things just happened and it just felt right. So I'm like, cool. So where things did have me thinking like, wait a minute, what was Miguel made a comment. So this is where like a lot of like their issue, what their issue like was in regards to this episode was Lindy sees this as automatically like, this is my life partner. I'm working this out to make this work with them for the rest of my life, to be with them for the rest of my life. Whereas Miguel is looking at it as, I'm going to definitely put my all in, these 8 weeks. And then of course, after the 8 weeks, see, what happened, which shoot me, but I'm not exactly like I guess I can understand why people feel the type of way about how he feels, but I feel like other cast members have been the same way about this situation. And maybe that's what's wrong, is that's not the optimistic way, but I feel like he's just saying that I'll say in his defense of, it's been clear that to me that some couples just weren't meant to be or whatever or whatnot, regardless of the professionals and their the matching process, whatever, whatever, whatever. So he's just like, I don't, at the end of the day, we are strangers. We are still getting another try. I don't know what's going to happen in the 8 weeks. And, I'm definitely going to put my all in, but he's just not going into it looking at it like, I know I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. And fine, let that be that, respect him. But at the same time, it clearly bothered Lindy though, and that she called it out in front of the entire group and what he said. And then when they sat down and had another, when they sat down, because they're like, okay, wait, we need to really maybe sit down and have this conversation. Then literally within a matter of a couple of hours or whatnot, she's saying now that she's open to what he's talking about, and basically his mind process, and not like being so. I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, okay. And then I'm starting to think in my head, what Lindy's friends were like saying about her, and really just making it make sense and making it come full circle so that I could understand what she's doing, why she's backtracking, why she's pleasing more of him. And I definitely feel like her background and her inexperience of relationships is playing a factor into that necessarily. Like, I was like, oh yeah. No, I definitely do not believe that she really wanted to have sex. I think that was more of a Miguel thing. She not even gonna say it's Miguel thing, like he pressured her and thing like that, but just that she did it for him. and not really for herself. She didn't honor herself by continuing to wait like she wanted to. That's where I'm at with that. And yeah, if she's going to continue to be like that, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go, y'all. One thing was for sure was Stasha was ready to light into him, like his relationship history, his I get it. We can all agree to disagree on our outlooks on how we see this process. I definitely don't think that he's saying that he's not genuine in this process or whatever or whatnot. He just views it in a different way, and I think that's fine. I don't think I don't see the issue in that. But y'all let me know like how y'all, what y'all think of that. Give me your view, give me your insight and how. I definitely feel like I can see how maybe it can be. I don't know. I can't even think I can see how it can be negative. So if you don't agree, definitely get in the comments down below, and we agree to disagree. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Safe space here. Don't be disrespectful to anybody. Yeah. So her comments though, after realizing that they were about to rip into him, and I get it, stand by your man, defend him, but she's like, oh, we're the real ones here, we're the ones taking it slow. I'm not saying anything, but at the same time, y'all the ones who've already consummated your marriage, but y'all the ones that's taking it slow. And that's not to say just because you had sex doesn't mean that you're taking it fast. But and mind you, Miguel is the one who doesn't necessarily believe in, I guess, waiting, because it's more important to him, whereas Nate is someone who was basically saying that he doesn't. I feel like he was basically saying that sex can jade you or whatever or whatnot, and can easily help you to put on rose-colored glasses or whatever. I think that's what they call it or whatever, whatnot. It can jade you and not and you not seeing things clearly, because that intimate y'all get it, y'all already know. So I think that that's what he was saying, and I think that whole conversation resulted in him going back and telling Lindy that he thinks that Nate is unreal, or is some type of false or fakeness to him. But when brought to Stasha actually felt the same way, and was just talking about how there's basically I guess he's just on social media a lot or whatever, and basically there's just something that's not necessarily genuine about him. And I feel like, if anything, I feel like if it is him just posting on social media and putting on, and I feel like that genuinity could be coming down to the fact of he did say that he kind of struggles with his identity and knowing who he is, and he may be trying to push off and make it seem like his life is looking like this and that. That's a personal thing for it's just to say that I think it's more in depth, and I don't think they're oh, I don't think he's he's not genuine to this process, is what I think. If that's what he's trying to hint at, Miguel. But y'all, so matter of fact, staying on Stasha and Nate, we'll just stay on them. They as well already, progressing, as a couple, with just so much in common. Both of them scared of bugs. For a second, I did not know how Nate was going to take Stasha wanting to do couples therapy. They'd be really trying to boosting things with a little suspense music and stuff like that. But he was open to it, and I literally was just saying on the previous recap that I just did with the three episodes in one, that I believe that these couples need to definitely continue, any couple for one, but definitely these couples need to continue with some form of therapy and counseling outside of this process, especially when everything has now gone away, the professionals are gone away, and now it's just y'all or whatnot. So I'm so glad, and it's so crazy that she actually spoke that up and was like, hey, this is what I think that, and no, it's not about us having problems. It's just about being proactive. And then this, again, especially just in this process. And being that I've never been married, you've never been married, and someone helping and giving us those tools to work through this. Like, I couldn't have advocated enough for that, like, any, like, any more than I have. Now, in the meantime, Nate, we were out here throwing out the L word, and Nate, told Stasha that he's falling, he's falling in love with her, and it does make me think about Justin, because they kind of said something similar in regards to Nate said, it's simple with you, and Justin said it's easy with you, and that wording, I don't know. It just makes me feel like, because I know we were all whoa, like Justin's loving already. He's saying the L word already, and for them that both, like, and I feel like that's been said before, like for men, like it's just it's easy, So I don't know. Like I said, I think the love is, I think the love is there. I'm for it. I'm for the love being there. So call it what you want. Now on the other side, Stasha, I'm trying to figure out what exactly is it that she's worried about. And to a degree, like, I kind of think I do, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily it, because she talks about, she's not sure if Nate knows what he wants, or as well, if he knows, I guess, what he's getting into with her, and her being a lot. And I'm like, okay, what are we missing? What are we not seeing? Is her feeling like he's not ready, like he says he is, because she feels he's not being genuine, or like, I'm ready for these couples to move in, to like really like get the nitty gritty and see how they really are. Because of course, like, I really feel like a lot of, for the most part, you put the best on, you put the front on, and not even necessarily that. When everything is, is good, everybody's in a honeymoon stage, and eventually the honeymoon stage is going to end. Things are going to get real, because lives are going to collide, and it's not always going to be peaches and cream. So I'm anxious to see what it is she's talking about in terms of her feeling like that he may not be ready for what she has. Justin, like, I actually think that people are really starting to get like intimidated, or maybe like, maybe their chemistry is making other people uncomfortable, like how they're really like into each other, and like really like just like falling for each other. And like at the end, where they were, at the dinner, when the mariachi band, came out, and like they were talking. First off, that no, let me just stick to Alexis and Justin, because really I ain't got much for them. Like, they're really on like a good note for me. And I think what really scares me is they're so good. I'm like, is this going to go bad? Like, it's bad that I'm waiting for the ball to drop, but it's kind of like, I feel like there's only been one couple. And I felt like, was his name Ben, or was that the other Ben? No, that wasn't the Ben. I want to say it was the couple who the girl wore the bird's nest on her head, and like they literally like fit each other to a T. They were both like quirky and like weird, and just like into different things. The guy wore an actual nightgown to bed. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you cannot forget this couple, but I cannot remember their names for the life of me. They were one of only. I don't believe any other couples were like them, or actually had a relationship where it really was just like like this was a really like good relationship, or whatever, whatnot. I hope they're still together. I'm still talking about them like they're together. But basically, we never like really saw them argue. Like, even their fights and their disagreements like were very, I don't want to say minuscule, but like, it just didn't happen. And I'm hoping this is it for them, but I just don't know. I'm so nervous. I'm so scared for them. But, we're gonna see, and then her as well slipping up and saying that she loved him too, and then her actually coming out and then really saying it to him, when they were alone together back in the room, and then just how like she just seems to really understand him already, because you can really tell that he was very much feeling some type of way about how or what Morgan wanted from her. I don't even know if she would like about basically what Morgan wanted from Ben, or just wanted all in general because of her, work life. You can see that he's very protective of Ben. Like they have, created a bond in this relationship, in this, in this group, and she was really able to like to level with him and talk to him and get him to understand why he can't put that type of pressure on himself for somebody else, and how that was, it wasn't causing any good, especially it wasn't really benefiting anything, or whatnot. Like I really love, like, sorry y'all, I like really got like spaced out for a second, but yeah, I'm really like them both saying it as well. Now, like I'm like, there's no way that this can be like. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Alexis and Justin. Like I'm absolutely just smitten with them as a couple. So made my rose-colored glasses on. Do y'all see something that I don't see? Definitely let me know. Talk to me. But I'm absolutely just in love with them as a couple. It's interesting that Alexis is saying that, she's, basically, waiting for marriage to get hard and waiting for it to be like hard work. Like, I don't necessarily think that it has to be hard, but I think it definitely does have to, that it is, work. And it is a constant work, in progress or whatever or whatnot. And I'm like, girl, don't say that, because before you know it, like the hard work is going to get hard. All of a sudden it's going to start happening. And I just want her and them both to be ready and to be equipped with those tools to work through that so that it can work. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just always pushing for Black love and any of the Black couples to work. If I feel like, if I think that, they, agreed that on the match. Kristen and Mitch. I cannot believe, for one, that I forgot to talk about how Kristen made it very clear to Mitch that at the end of this process, if they have not had sex, if the love was I love you, just I love you have not been like expressed or said, that she is out, no questions asked. Like, part of me feels like, you just never know how things may go down the line into the process. But I don't know. Part of me feels like Kristen knows what's up at this point. She knows what she wants, and already having like I think she just learned a lot from her last relationship that almost ended at the altar, and then that not working out. I think she's just more intentional, and she's just not standing for any mess and any BS. And I'm here for it. But it does seem like that, even though things were, a bit confusing, last episode, like they're really making strides, they're really making progress. And that's really all that she keeps saying. It's just that as long as she's seeing that some effort and that they're moving, in some way, she's, it's not a race. She's not, rushing to get to that line, but obviously, like, she does want to get there. Or and I get it, if 2 months in and that's not there, like, I don't know, like, y'all are married too at the same time. But it's like at the same time, because it's crazy, because this is what I kind of see sex too. Like, I definitely like agree that it can be jaded if done too soon. While at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, this process does challenge that thinking for me, because it's like, well, they're married, Ashley, should they be even waiting to get to I definitely understand and getting to know each other to a degree, but how long is the getting to know each other supposed to happen? Because when you're single, when that's your thought process, that timing and your intentions of that is because obviously you're looking for something more committed, and so you want to make sure you wean out the, you know, the game players from the ones who are actually serious. So I guess really it's the circumstances that really makes me feel like in this type of situation it's kind of like you just have to, I don't want to say like be, I don't want to think like be fair or be even, but just like really have to be I don't know, just really just going off a feeling, because I definitely feel like if y'all are just really like hitting it off like that, and obviously you're not always going to get everything out of a person, even with this process. I feel like the some of the stuff is already, the work is already done for you, so it's kind of like, does that make sense? I feel like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically the whole sex consummate the marriage, whether too early or too late, I definitely feel like is, I don't know, I can't say I necessarily feel like if it's too early that it's bad, and I can't necessarily feel like if they wait that is necessarily bad either. So this is a, like this married at first sight like really like opens up my mind and like, you know, and thinking about things or whatnot. I definitely think that Alexis, you know, gave her some, you know, great advice in, you know, how in carrying out this situation, you know, with Mitch, and then Mitch as well, you know, encouraging her to hold him accountable and, you know, to basically like, you know, check him and to not give him any free passes in this process. And as they, you know, are like going along, and, Alexis, you know, just saying like, meet him where he is. Like I that was like a boom for me. And even the small wins are big wins. Like don't even count out those small wins. Like you really have to, it's kind of like you have to make your own rules in this process. And as well, you just not taking things personally in this process. A lot of the times that other person is moving based off of their own stuff that really has nothing to do, you know, with you. So they have nothing but to give it time. It's kind of like it's clock ticking time because of, like, I feel like because of, you know, what the ultimatum kind of Kristen put on the table, but they have time. But I love the fact how even when Kristen was finally telling the girls about the experience that she had, that confusing experience with Mitch, that she was still an advocate for him. You know, at the end of the day, like that's her husband. It wasn't like a, okay guys, like now, you know, like a bash Mitch, like we're gonna beat on him, we're not gonna, like it. She was still like, regardless of this, I need you guys to still be team Mitch. And I love the effort that I felt like the ladies were putting into it, especially Alexis, because I really could tell, you know, of her feelings and her really picking up that energy that something was different and, you know, and going on. So when for Kristen to go to Alexis to get that advice, and Alexis to, as you know, as a woman, as a grown woman, despite what's happening, to be able to solidly give her good advice and a good outlook on that whole thing was just inspiring. Like I just love it. I just love positivity. Like let's not, like, as women, woman to woman, not beating up on each other, and not always like beating up on each other about each other. So Morgan and Ben are the, they're you know, they haven't been married the longest, y'all, and at the same time things are did kind of hit the fan for them a little bit early so far. Though it does seem like, you know, it's being overcame, but at the same time, I don't know. I thought that Ben was going to be the issue probably in this whole thing. And now I'm looking at Morgan like, which at the same time was kind of just like, I think I was looking at Morgan sideways anyway, but not for what I am now. So let's start in the beginning. So, which Ben does seem maybe remorseful for. He was very hard on her about his expectation of like who he wanted in a partner, which was somebody who was straight with their family and basically somebody who did not, who was basically about their finances, because those are his priorities. And he, as well as honesty, like straight up honesty from the get-go, 100% honesty from the jump. And him being adamant about not receiving that drew like low-key a line and pushed him for them to now be in a place where she's not sure if she can trust him. So, and now that I'm thinking about it, you did lie. I was really trying to break this down, trying to be like I done been around nurses all my life. There is no, like, you just can't get up and decide like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse and I'm going to go and just work in a hospital. Like, it doesn't necessarily like work like that. So for her to say though, don't tell anybody, it's definitely like, so you did lie. You didn't, in a way, you did not fully tell the truth. I do believe she's doing something within within a nursing field, but she's just using the word nurse as a generalization to what it is that she necessarily does. She's like, oh, well, I'm a nurse. While at the same time, I haven't received I'm one course away from receiving my BSN, which is a bachelor in nursing. Maybe she has an associate's degree. Can you get an associate's in nursing? Like, I'm really like trying to like, I know you can get, there's a CNA. I know there's LPN. I know that there are med techs. So that's why I say there is nurse. By using the word nurse at the same time, it can be broad because you can be doing a range of a spectrum of things. But don't make it seem like, oh, I'm doing this for the pay, when really, like, at the same time, you having a BSN at the same, it's putting you at the same time. Yeah, it's your pay, but it's a level. It's a, now you can do things that you weren't able to do before. Like, wait a minute, don't play. But either way, like I said, now sitting here and her saying like, don't tell anybody, clearly you did lie in some form of fashion. And he broke trust because he decided to go and have that conversation with his good friend Justin about it, who might have then had a conversation with Alexis. And now, of course, we don't know if Alexis is having a conversation with other people about this situation. So, boom, she's already looking like, boom, like, I'm not enough for you. You're looking at me like I have issues with my family because she hasn't, talked to her father in like years. And then as well, you think I'm a liability because I want to go to school and I have school loans. I want to continue school and then I have school loans on top of that. Like, I'm not in no way trying to put that on you or trying to, saying that you have to pay for anything, of that. So in that aspect, I did think it was unfair. I can understand him needed somebody to talk to and try to get some insight in regards to this situation, but I as well, I can see where what's name was coming from too. And about the same time, it seems like you're more about like covering up this lie that you've told now, really, more or less. So what made it just worse for that situation was her basically saying that she's a nurse, whatever, seeing how that is going to be when they move in, because she's used to coming after, working, being a nurse, working in pandemic, whatever, her coming home, unwinding, like she has her own coming home unwinding process. And now as well, Ben will be there. Like, there's someone now adding into that factor. And after taking care of people all day, she doesn't want to come and take care of somebody else. So she needs somebody who is okay and can take care of themselves. One thing for sure, one thing for sure, two things for certain is I'm gonna take care of my husband, no matter how many people or what many people that I'm taking care of. So if you don't want to take care of me because you are being a nurse all day, either one, we don't need to be married, or either two, you need to find another profession. Because regardless of a man taking care of a woman or a woman taking care of a man, we all want to be taken care of in some form of way or fashion. So I was moved by it. For sure, Alexis and Justin they were literally having sidebar conversation the entire time as they're talking through you know what, basically all that Morgan wants. It did sound like a lot of what Morgan wants, what Morgan, you know, expects. And again, here we go calling each other out. I just want to know, well, where does Ben fit into all that? So she's making it sound nice by, yes, well, that's the thing, you know, is, you know, I want to, you know, that's what we have to communicate, and that's what we know. It sounds like you've already said, like, I want to be able to come home to somebody and pick him up and drop him up. Like, I really felt like Justin and Alexis were like spot on. Like, you just want a companion. You want somebody you can pick up and drop down when you feel like it. And like, I'm hella confused. I'm so confused. Like, that statement alone just confused me on another level. I do apologize, y'all, if y'all can hear my daughter, because I don't know why she's being all loud and ghetto. But even after all that, y'all, he is still in a place of realizing that he has broken a level of trust with her, and he is all for, you know, I'm just like, just make sure you're speaking up for you, Ben, in this situation, because wow how just the roles changed. Because I was like, not that I was against Ben, but I was just like, I don't know about Ben gonna be the issue. And now I'm over here looking at Morgan like, girl, what y'all? So let me see, what's just a couple little things that I might have just left off. But first off, what's it? Justin, don't be wasting no free liquor. Don't be wasting and throwing out no good free liquor. Don't be doing that. You knew you was going out to have tequila. You should have ate. You should something. I don't know. Something should have been worked out. Like, bruh. Or you shouldn't have just took a shot. Don't be wasting no good liquor like that, throwing it out. I don't know if I necessarily liked how Nate though did try to come at Justin about his whole, oh, well, if y'all love each other, you know, well, why, you know, aren't you guys having sex yet? And him, you know, feeling like that. Basically, Justin probably gets pussy whipped. And I was like, okay, like, sometimes, like, I love like when they get together and are able to challenge each other and as well get each other's like different views and insights. But because sometimes it's really like it's nice, and other times it's like, wait, what? But at the same time, I'm only bringing it up because it gave me something to think about. But I'm not saying that he gets whipped. I'm just saying that, do y'all think, like, yes, once they have sex, that yes, things are probably like, that is really going to, not that it's even a bad thing, but like, we all know, like, his feelings for Alexis are very, 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 very strong. Y'all, just give me your thoughts. Let's talk about it. If there's anything I didn't hit on, definitely talk about it. And below, remind me, whatever. Give me your thoughts, your insights. What's your thought here on this episode? And as always, I appreciate you for, especially if you made it this far. Definitely give me a thumbs up if you made it this far. 2 thumbs up, but like, would be great. Matter of fact, not even 2. Make it 4. If I can get 4 or even 5 thumbs up, y'all, we doing good. 5 thumbs up. Give me 5. Give me 5. Come on. Y'all can give me 5. Just nothing. Just boop. Yep. Just go ahead and boop it. All right, y'all. See y'all next week. Episode 7. They're off the honeymoon. And nitty gritty, y'all. Nitty gritty.